On tap, Blakkr Imperial Black Ale.
Better beer authority, better beer.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewandowski, and this is your Better Beer Authority. Today, we're going to be drinking Blakkr Imperial Black Ale, a collaboration beer from Indiana's three Floyds, Minnesota's Surly, and Texas's Real Ale. The three breweries came together over a love of all things metal. Surly's Todd Hogg was quoted as saying, "The most metal brewmasters felt compelled to learn about each other's brewery process, drink beer, listen to metal, and brew the most metal beer ever. Black as the sky on a moonless night, Blakkr has flavors of black licorice and bittersweet hops with strong hop aromas of pineapple." Blakkr clocks in at 9.99 ABV and 86 IBUs. They used pale and carafa special malts with oats and crystal sugar and hopped with Warrior, Simcoe, and Centennial. It currently receives a 95 from Beer Advocate and a 98 on Rate Beer. Let's see what the guys think. Rich, can you tell me about the appearance and the aroma on this one?
The appearance is, a nice black ale. As soon as we smelled it, I had an idea what it was. I'm getting some tropical hoppiness, a little pininess. I think the tropical aspects are more present. So then you look at it, you're like, okay, it looks like a porter. It's kind of thin, but it's definitely not.
Okay.
It's a really nice smell. I like the smell a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, I picked up a lot of that tropical as well when I was pouring. It was really nice. David, you getting something similar taste-wise?
It's very piney, very resiny. I mean, he mentioned kind of tropical-ish, but I'm not seeing that in the taste. It's really straightforward hops. I mean, there's a lot of hops in there, but what I get is just, again, as I mentioned, just resiny, just piney, just probably West Coast Black IPA if that even exists.
Okay.
But it's not unpleasant. It's just, I'm surprised that a beer that looks like this, it really tastes as, better as it does.
Okay. Now, Mark, are you getting a lot of the same things, like, a lot of that piney, that resinous? I mean, for a dark beer like this, I would have expected, obviously, maybe a little bit of roast, but, I mean, do you get that at all? And, I mean, if you had to say, what kind of style do you think this is?
Okay. I definitely get some roast in the flavor, less malt in the nose, but definitely with the flavor. And I agree with the other two panelists here. I think it's a Black IPA, which is a hybrid style attributed to Greg Noonan of Vermont Pub and Brewery in Burlington, who kind of created the first quote-unquote Black IPA, but other people call it Cascadian Dark Ale or American Black Ale. It's a real hybrid style that incorporates elements of intense hop aroma and flavor with the roasty aspects of a stout or a porter.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. And you are right. It is. What you wouldn't call Black IPA, Cascadian Dark Ale, what have it. Rich, what's your rating on this?
I'm giving it a 6. I used to like Black IPAs a lot, and then the maltiness started getting to me, and I kind of avoid them. But this is a IPA, a Black IPA. I'd have again. If someone asked me to recommend a Black IPA, I think I would. But it's not a style I go for anymore. But it's good. 6.
Okay. Yeah, that's still solid, absolutely. Dave, what do you think?
I'm going to go with 6 as well. Black IPAs, you really don't see that many of them. And when you do, it crosses the line of, hey, am I going to buy this again, or am I just going to have it the first time just to see if it's good or not? It's not a bad beer at all. It's just it doesn't have anything that stands out to me as saying, hey, this is something you need to have again. I mean, it's good looking, taste wise, and I would say I can find this in a West Coast IPA. So why would I want to get this, instead? So I will give it a 6.
Okay. You feel the same way regarding that, Mark?
Yeah. I'm going to give it a 6 also. It's a solid beer. I could definitely drink it again. I don't know if I'd seek it out, but the things that I like about it is the mix of some of the piney, resiny hop notes with the roasty, malty backbone, as characteristic of many Black IPAs. I kind of consider what I think is one of the best Black IPAs is Firestone Walker's Wookie Jack, and this beer does not stand up to that, where you get this kind of intense rye with the West Coast, Pacific Northwest hops, the really intense malt flavors. Everything just seems a little bit more muted, and it's a little bit thin. So, and those are my complaints with the beer. But solid, easy to drink, no flaws. So.
I mean, the hops don't linger too much on this, which I would rather they did, so you get more enjoyment out of it being an IPA style.
Maybe the roast kind of pulls from that, maybe a little bit.
It's well made.
Sure.
It's a very well made beer, but it just doesn't really stand out to anything else than, hey, this is a black IPA, really? But other than that, it just doesn't go beyond that.
Perfect. Well, I mean, I am kind of surprised that it hasn't stood out because who makes it? You would think it'd be a standout. You guys mentioned it off camera. Yes, we are having Blakkr, folks. Wow. This is a collaboration with Surly, 3 Floyds, and Real Ale.
Wow.
Real, that's Texas, right?
Texas, yes.
Imperial.
I'm really happy to try this. Yeah.
So yes, an Imperial,
Happy to have this.
an Imperial Black Ale.
Badass can.
Oh, I'm telling you, the can. This one is rivals On the Wings as far as can design.
Yeah, definitely.
Because On the Wings is a badass label. This is right up there with it.
Oh, yeah.
And this is brewed meant to be kind of. They brewed this as like a metal beer because they're all a bunch of metalheads. So I mean, this was actually recommended. Buddy of mine, Joe, out in Minnesota. Appreciate it. He's kind of my Surly hookup. He said you gotta give this one a shot. So I had this the same time you guys did, so I was holding out on this, and I'm pleasantly surprised by it. I would probably hinge maybe closer to a 7 on it. But yeah, I mean, it's still solid. Really, really nice.
What's the ABV on this? I don't.
9.99.
Oh, wow. That's, I may have to change my rating to a 7. Only because, like I said before, when you can mask alcohol and
Right.
get something light, I think there's a craft to it, and that impresses me. So
You gonna go with this? You want to?
I am. I'm messing up
Okay.
your rating.
That's fine. And it's 9.99 and it's 86 IBUs.
Wow.
And they used you talk about the tropicalness. Use Warrior, Simcoe, and Centennial in throughout the brew. So
Wow.
I've heard this beer described as a combination of darkness and abrasive.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I don't think it lives up to either of those. Those are two
No.
of my favorites. But
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think it hinges closer to abrasive personally than it may with darkness because darkness is that's its whole other animal.
another
So
beast. Yeah.
now you would mention obviously black IPAs aren't really anything that you see too often, especially this one's considered more of like an Imperial black ale because of the IBUs and the alcohol on it. I mean, is this a style for, everyday drinking, or is it one of those you maybe have just more on occasion?
Well, that's the problem that I see with it is the fact that Imperial Black Ale, I've never had heard of anything like that, Imperial Black Ale. So if you see that on stores, you're gonna say, hey, I'm gonna drink this now, or I'm gonna wait until I need to mow the lawn. So, I'm having it right now, and now Three Floyds is actually one of my favorite breweries. So I can see this, saying, oh, this is definitely something that Three Floyds will make. But it's something I'm going to be seeking out every single time that I'm at the store, saying, hey,
Right.
I'm looking for a beer for a special occasion, or just a beer for whatever,
Right.
This is something to have. If somebody says to me, hey, have this again, I'll do it. But would I seek it again? Might be out of the question.
Most times I get black IPAs if I'm at a good beer bar and you can do flights and samples.
Okay.
That's where I'll get a sample of that. For some reason I will always do that. But I find it hard to finish a whole pint sometimes because then it warms up and then the maltiness comes in the little roastiness that I don't think jives that well with the hops.
Sure.
As much as I would like it to.
Right. All right, so Blakkr gets a 6.3 on the BBA scale. Have you tried this? I mean, have you tried anything from, these breweries, Real Ale, Surly, or Three Floyds? Certainly let us know in the comments section. We appreciate it. Again, my name is Andrew Lewandowski, and this is your Better Beer Authority.
Better